Hi, this lesson is an introduction to a ratio. A ratio is another way to say a rate pair. What that means is you have a set of numbers. Let's say that I have a set of numbers with a 2 to 3 ratio. What that means is it's a rate pair. For every 2 pink, there's 3 green. They're a set. There's different ways to write this ratio. The first way is a 2 to 3 ratio. And if you notice, it has a colon right here. That is because they're like the 2 dots in divided by. We could also call it could look like a fraction, a 2 to 3 ratio. Now, both a ratio and a fraction could also be considered division. So it could be 2 divided by 3. Because the answer, if you have 2 split up into 3 pieces, you're going to end up with a decimal or a fraction, a smaller number. And so you can see that these 2 dots are like part of the decimal, the division symbol, and this bar is kind of like the other piece of it. For right now, we're just going to be looking at a ratio this way. For right now, a 2 to 3 ratio. So that means for every 2 pinks, I have 3 greens. So if I had 4 pinks, I would need to get my 3 greens. And I can see that now I have a total of 4 pinks and 6 greens. Well, let's say I had another pair. 2, 4, 6. So how many would I have here? Well, I'd have to put 3 more, which I can see would give me a total of 9. Now, the thing to remember about ratios is that even if they're different numbers, they're still worth the same percentage-wise. So a 2 to 3 ratio is exactly the same thing as a 4 to 6 ratio, which is the same thing as a 6 to 9 ratio. You just see that for every 2, you have 3. 2 to 3. So this is sort of the concept of a ratio. Let's look at some other ratios. Let's say I had a ratio that is 4 to 5. Let's look at a 4 to 5 ratio. So we would say 4 to 5. So if I have a 4 to 5 ratio, this time let's make it a different ratio. We're going to make it a 4 to 5 ratio of blue to green. So I have some blue over here. Blue to green, a 4 to 5 ratio. So what this means is for every 4 of blue, I have 5 of green. So if I have a second set here, that would be 8 blue. So how many would I have? That's right, I would have 10 because I would get 5 more, and 5 plus 5 is 10. So you can see that really what you're doing is just skip counting. 4, 8, 12, right? That would come next. 5, 10, 15. So what would this look like on paper? Let's see. Move these over to the side, and we'll look at this ratio, a 4 to 5 ratio. So if I look at this, a 4 to 5 ratio, right? And we said that that was blue to green. Now, I had skip counted each time, right? So if I had a second set, the 4 plus 4 is 8. 5 plus 5, well, that's 10. Let's look and see what we did to go from here to here. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, and 5 times 2 is 10. So let's keep skip counting. 4, 8, what comes next? 12. 5, 10, 15. We could keep going and going and going. Let's look at another ratio. Let's say I have a ratio that is 3 to 1. That's something to remember about ratios is you can have a bigger number first or second. It doesn't make a difference. This is a 3 to 1 ratio. And let's say this is 3 cookies to 1 brownie. So I'm going to label my ratio and then skip count down. So if I skip count by threes, I can see it goes 3, 6, 9, 12. Now skip counting by ones, 2, 3, 4. What we use ratios for is a lot of times we want to jump from this ratio to see what's an equivalent ratio. So let's take this same 3 to 1 ratio. I'm going to put it down here. So you may see something like this. I have a 3 to 1 ratio of cookies to brownies at a bake sale. Now, I sold 15 cookies. So how many brownies did I sell? So this is what I don't know. But all I need to do is see what did I do to get from 3 to 15. And then I just have to do the same thing to the other number. So 3 times what equals 15? Well, I know that's 5. So now all I have to do is 1 times 5. It keeps it balanced. It keeps it that pair. That would be the same thing as if I had a 3 to 1 ratio like this. And I just needed to see how many 3s did I need to get to 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15. So here I am, I'm now at 15. So I just have to keep my rate pair. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I can see that I then sold 5 brownies. For every 15 cookies, I sold 5 brownies. So this is what we're going to practice with ratio first, is creating a ratio and then picking a multiple and seeing what the pair would be, what the other ratio would be.